and welcome to Wednesday, May 14th with the Recoup Daily Check-In. I'm Sids, this is Sweets, he's making tea, and we are midweek. Gonna just kind of go over what's been shipped, what's shipping next on product side, and biz dev side, what meetings have been taken, what meetings are next. You want to kick it off, Sweets? You've been shipping a lot last night and today. I'm getting pings. I can't even keep up with all the pings in Slack.
Yeah, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but Coinbase has requested that I send them my impact for the past month. And that just makes me roll my eyes because I automate all of my content. And so for me to go through every single post across every single platform, get them how many comments, how many likes, get all that data, put it into a report, make sure I don't get distracted in the feed and doom scroll while I'm looking up all the content. It just makes me roll my eyes and it's not something fun. And so I built two new tools. Well, I built one that's already shipped and another one is on the way, but I've already done it for Twitter. And so if I say, help me generate an influencer report for my for April posts regarding Coinbase dev on X. First, find all the videos I've posted on X where I tagged Coinbase dev. And so I can send out a broad request like that, kind of specific, but relatively broad, saying I want it for April. I'm only interested in the videos because there's a lot of other posts that I've done. And I didn't even include my handle in here, so we'll see if it knows to look for my handle that I've attached to this profile. But we now have a general search for Twitter and trends for Twitter. So what that means is that you can look up any profile like Sydney Swift and you can say, what posts have they made in the past day? What posts have they made in the past week? You can also say who is replying to their, okay, so it didn't get my username. Sweetman. You just give it a profile like this and now it's searching Twitter, tweets mentioning that from my handle. It processed them. This is from Veerball to standardize them. And then it's going to analyze all of them. I have been doing posts on X402. I have been dodoing posts on Wallet V2 APIs. And then it gives me like, here's your number of likes, here's your number of retweets, can give me a table. And then I can tell it like, I need all the posts. Make the table to include the URL of the post and the date posted. I don't think it includes that. And date posted. Make sure to include search for all of April and May. So this is the main thing that I've just shipped is the ability to search on Twitter and then chain it together with all the other tools. So that way I can report as an influencer to the sponsor. This is the impact that I have. And across the music industry, there's a lot of musicians that earn from a patron or from a sponsor or from a source that pays them a large amount of what they earn. And so for any musician to be able to come in and say, look, I don't want to go through, usually a manager would do this. A manager would go and rack up it all. And so now managers can use this for any musicians that are in their catalog, in their portfolio. They can automate the reports, create tables, create text files, do all the searching, all of this work that would have taken me hours to have it get done while I'm yapping on a phone call with my business partners.
I fucking love this so much.
This was not requested for the week, but I built this out. And so where I'm going now is I've just built out, now I'm going to Instagram. So doing the same thing, but for Instagram. Before we had to go into an agents tab and you had to wait a long time and it wasn't chained or connected with the tools at all. And so what I just showed you is our new Twitter search. We have an API. So if you want to query API to do any search, we've just given this API to the AI and then the AI is forming the query, the max tweets and the search mode. Usually it's searching for latest, but any of these search modes can be used. We also get the trends. This one's very simple. It just returns the trends that you get from Twitter. This is just a simple array, so nothing complex here. But this is helpful if you say generate something that's viral. The agent can now go out and get whatever is trending on Twitter to help craft whatever it means to be viral. And so where I'm going from here is Instagram. The first API that you can hit is looking up profiles. So you can hit our API, pass in any number of profiles. We will then scrape all those profiles, get the number of followers, number of following, their bio, their posts, their IG live videos, every single thing, the number of views on their videos, anything that we can pull, we pull. And then once you have those posts, you can then get comments, and the comments will then return all of the comments for that video for those posts on Instagram. And this is, again, to help me to report to Lincoln and the Coinbase team. I've already sent them everything that I did on X. Now I want to get that Instagram engagement report. I want to be able to send that off. And then from here, I'm just going to keep expanding into YouTube and everywhere else that I'm posting. The main question I have is the main goal for this week was to do deep research and onboarding. The onboarding is done and we're generating a knowledge base, but you had sent me a ChatGPT comparison of ChatGPT's output and my output. And so the question that I have is, should I continue going down the path that I'm on of building tools that I need to report my engagement for the Coinbase team to potentially renew the contract I have with them? Or do I understand we only have 2 days left? Deep research has still not been approved by you all the way. Do I come back to deep research and refine that until it meets your requirements?
Continue down this path. We have a call tomorrow. I have a call tomorrow with Carolyn
from Big Ass Kids.
Big Ass Kids. I sent her an email saying, hey, we've worked on the artist onboarding flow. I want to sit with you to show you where we're at and walk through her like, let's make this less about my requirements, more about her requirements. And if you want to jump on that call, it'd be great. Or I can record it and literally show her where we're currently at and say, the next step is perfecting this deep research with exactly what she needs to go into her onboarding call. We'll also use that for our artist knowledge base, but it'll be straight from the horse's mouth. And then I also told her to send me a list, although I don't know if she has yet or not, of like what platform she's currently using to book the calls. Like, because I told her ideal situation is when an artist books a one-on-one with her, the agent automatically runs in the background, sends her an email with the report. She just doesn't have to do anything. And then if she wants to go into Recoup and ask it questions, et cetera, she can, that artist will be done. So tomorrow, during that call, we can pick back up deep research and artist onboarding sprint where we left off, but it'll be from the customer and not from me. And I love the path you're going down because you can also use the APIs that you're using into the deep research prompt to trigger that real-time analytics, so yeah, I think we're going down the right path. So yeah, fucking awesome. On my end, well, the first thing I thought of when you were showing me this, and I'm obviously going like way too far ahead, but just thinking through this, when you were like, yo, I want to do X and then I want to do Y. The first thing I thought of was like, yo, it'd be so fire if you had like a turn this into an agent button where it just like, it sees what you do in your conversation and what you're asking for. And then it creates an agent for you in your agents tab with that workflow. So you don't always have to go into your agent. You don't have to always do the thing. Like you can create your own agent basically.
Love that.
Yeah, I thought that would be really fucking fire. Again, like it would, I don't know. It's a cool feature. I haven't seen it yet, which was kind of dope. Because the first thing I thought of is when you did it was like, okay, cool, but how do we make this easier for like anybody to go in and be like, generate me a report for Instagram currently? Like that could just be a tab in the agents tool that triggers the prompt and the tool chains. But then we can do with unlimited of those if we find the right tool chains and the right conversations. So let users do that shit. Okay, so that was cool. Anyways, next step, Carolyn meeting tomorrow. We'll pick back up artists. I'm at the final stages of the rostrum calls. I want to talk with you. We don't have too much time.
That's my fault. I was late.
It's okay. I have a 2 o'clock, so maybe I can hit you up. Do you have time afterwards? Because I want to kind of sit down with you and just get your thoughts on the infrastructure and pricing on how they're kind of coming back and what you basically. I want to align product with BizDev here.
Copy. My calendar for today. I had a meeting that starts right now. Now it starts in 30 minutes from now. I have a gap at 3:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then I have from 5 I'm sorry, from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then after that, I'm with Samir the rest of the night on our weekly call.
Give me a second.
Can you do between 4:30 to 5:30 or between 3:30 to 4?
Yeah, I can do 3:30 to 4. Yeah, let's do that, and then that way we can kind of dive into the pricing and my response to that. I want to give you kind of like the update of where we're at, what's been. I want to talk through what this infrastructure is going to look like. I don't want to go too low on this pricing, and I don't want to go too high on this pricing.
I just sent the email invite to sid@recoupable.com. Is that the right email for this?
Sydney at Recoupable.
Yeah, Sydney at Recoupable.
Yeah, that's perfect.
You should have the calendar invite. We'll huddle.
Yeah, we'll just huddle. That's perfect.
Okay.
All right, cool. Then go knock out whatever else you're doing. And then last thing I had on my list was Verbal next steps. How you feeling with them?
It seems like he's improving. He's starting to take my feedback more seriously, and he sent that little words of affirmation that he likes. So he likes the feedback I'm giving him. So feels good to keep moving on. I just opened up a question to him. Does he want to continue for a new scope? Into what's his ideal work? What is his ideal work relationship in the long term? I'd just love to hear what he's looking for. Because I don't want to keep iterating over, let's give him a scope, he bills us the scope, and then we start, but get into more, you're working with us on a weekly basis. I will be judging that whether or not you're improving or maintaining our requirements. We pay you a weekly rate, an hourly rate, a monthly rate, something so we don't have to keep scoping things out personally.
I agree. I eventually get there. I just want to make sure that we're not
jumping the gun.
It's contained. Yeah, exactly. And we kind of see how he thinks through scoping. Because it's just funny when you're doing it, because his original costs were 600 for the week. And then I was like, can you scope this out? And it ended up being 375. So the difference in what someone's thought process of how much work they're going to do throughout a week versus, but if I'm actually have these specific tasks, how much is actually going to cost me to do?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so just thinking through that when we do, eventually I want to get him to that point, but make sure that we understand his output and levers so that we make sure that we're getting the best output. All right, cool. Go do your thing, and then we'll touch base at 3:30.
Can you give us a quick wrap up?
Wrap up. Follow, like, subscribe. It is May 14th, daily recoup check-in. Go try the new tool.